I found something. You gotta check this out.
Who plays board games anymore?
Yo, what's this?
Jumanji. Pick a character and you're that person in the game.
Bethany, you in?
I don't spend my life staring at a TV screen. Fine.
Oh my god!
Where's my hair?
Where's the rest of me?
Oh my god, we're in different people's bodies!
Bethany, don't look at it!
No! I'm an overweight, middle-aged man. Wait a second. Where's my phone? Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. I think we've become the avatars we chose.
Welcome to Jumanji.
This is a video game, which means we each have 3 lives.
Come on, let's go.
I'm Alex. Watch your step in here.
So gnarly. We can help each other. We all have special skills. Weakness, none.
I hate this game. Everybody else got good stuff.
Weakness? Cake.
Yes, cake is my weakness.
You're a good weapons valet.
What is that?
I think it means you carry my weapons and give them to me when I tell you to.
Don't let this new body get your butt whooped.
Ow! What the hell? We have to work together.
I think it's a staring contest.
Who's good at staring and not blinking?
I'm amazing at it. I can't even with this place.
Welcome to the jungle. Fun and games. Jungle. Welcome
We gotta go. Get on my back.
Hell no!
I'll carry you. Come on.
I would rather die.
Get on my back.
Nope, I'm gonna die. Put me down! What is this?
Pound cake. Cake? Isn't that your weakness?
Something happening to me? Am I shaking? Am I still black?
Yes.
Okay, we're fine. Everything is fine. It's all good.
Hi, this is Mike Furchess with the Movie Guys back at you today. Hope you're having a great time. Glad you tuned into the program and check it out. I want to remind you can find us at YouTube. You can also find us at facebook.com/Wichita Movie Guys. That's spelled WICHITAMOVIEGUYS, all one word. Today's kind of a treat. You may be seeing more of this in the future, but today we have my wife along with a guest doing reviews with me. We go to movies all the time. We've been going to movies since before we were married. We still go on a regular basis. We have a regular Wednesday night date night that we go to a movie. And sometimes we'll go to a movie 2 or 3 times a week. We'll go to 2 or 3 different movies a week. So my wife, Mary Jane, we're reviewing this week Jumanji. Tell us about your knowledge of Jumanji and what you know about it.
Well, we saw the original movie, Jumanji, several years ago when it first came out. I read the book to my students. I'm a retired school teacher, so I always read to my students, and I read the book several times, over the years to my students. So I was quite familiar with the story when the first movie came out. And so I didn't know quite how they were going to redo this movie or remake it, to make it more exciting than the first one. And they did. It's not exactly the same storyline, but it's
well, yeah, some of the differences, you've got one primary character in the original, which was Robin Williams. I loved Robin Williams, but to be honest about it, I really didn't care for the movie, the original movie. I got kind of bored with it. I've tried to watch it several times, and I have seen it, but I just didn't like it. But this one right here, what you have is, as opposed to a board game like is in the original, you have some students. Describe the students in the game, Mary Jane.
Well, the students remind me of sort of the Breakfast Club. They're 4 high school students that get into trouble, and they have to serve detention. And their detention is in this old storage room, and they come upon this video game. And so they get sucked into the video game, and that's the the story of Jumanji.
And it's more like a video game as opposed to something like a board game. The characters that we see in the movie, and again, these are all high school students that get sucked into a game, and when they get sucked into the game, they take on the characters in the game. So there's Spencer, and Spencer goes into the game, and he, this wimpy high school kid, all of a sudden he has the body of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and he's kind of excited about the body. Then there's Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart plays the part of a great big football player named the Fridge. I mean, he's massive, 300+ pound guy, like a defensive lineman or something. And he gets sucked into the game, and this big guy is shocked that he now has the body and the looks of Kevin Hart. And then there's a young gal in the movie that we see that she's played by Karen Gillan, and she plays the part of Martha. She's kind of a nerdy gal, not real athletic or anything of that nature. She gets sucked into the game, and all of a sudden she's an athletic, really fast, dynamic individual, and she's not hard to look at either. But then the funniest one is a character named Brittany. How would you describe Brittany, Mary Jane?
Brittany's a self-absorbed, sort of valley girl type. You know, she's just so involved with herself and what she looks like and how popular she can be. And then she gets sucked into this game, and she finds out she's like Jack Black. It's really funny. Jack
Black plays that part. It's hilarious. The first time she looks into the water and sees what she looks like, here's this short, imagine this cheerleader, inconceited little girl who's all into herself. She looks into this water, and all of a sudden she has the body, including the little round guy, the face, the beard of Jack Black. So there's a lot of humor in the movie. Her granddaughter enjoyed it and laughed as well. There's quite a few laugh out loud moments in the movie. And each of the characters in the movie, they all respectively have their own comedic parts throughout the movie that's quite enjoyable. What else would you say about the characters?
Well, Martha, the one she's a real quiet, loner type girl. And her character when she turns into the Avatar character, reminds me of Tomb Raider. I mean, she's like macho girl, and she looks at herself and she says, why am I in these clothes? Why am I dressed like this? Yeah. And she can't figure out.
And she looks like the girl from Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
and stuff too. She's fast. She's got special fighting skills. Whatever you can imagine in the game, the characters, the specialized fighting skills and those types of things. These characters in this movie take on those same types of things. But I think there's some really good themes in the movie. Not only is it funny, when I first saw the trailers, I knew I wanted to see the movie. So not only is it funny, some of the lessons, what were some of the lessons that you got out of it?
Well, I think one part was where the character Jack Black plays, the other girl, Martha, doesn't have much confidence in herself. And you see that this self-absorbed Brittany, takes time out to sit down with Martha and talk to her and build her confidence about what she is going to do and what's going to happen. I thought that was really insightful, because you would never expect the outward Brittany to take time to sit and talk with someone and help them through what they're going through.
When we see each character that when they're teenagers they think they're invincible. But then they become these characters who have powers, but then they recognize their own frailties, their own weaknesses, if you will. And Brittany is one of those characters. We see each character develop in such a way that they overcome their weaknesses and begin to rely on strengths. And in the practice of those strengths, they also recognize the importance of others around them, helping them to obtain the things that they need to obtain.
Because The Rock, his character before Spencer is, like you said, he's a nerdy, smart guy that he had actually been doing Fridge's homework for him to help him pass math, and he didn't have any confidence in his athletic abilities at all.
And he had a crush on Martha, but was always afraid to say something to her.
Yeah, he was embarrassed to say anything to Martha, so he gains confidence when he's astounded when he looks at his body, and he's The Rock. He's got muscles, whereas in the past he was just a skinny kid.
Yeah. One of the things that I think that's really good for movies like this, one of the things that they do, is that they can give the courage and insight to kids that are dealing with those same problems, or adults for that matter. We all deal with insecurities, we all deal with things that we feel that we're weak in. And it shows the ability of those individuals to come to the place of strength, but it also shows the importance of relying on and using the skills of others around you, a way that you might imagine a good church or a good organization would operate. So, for me, I thought the movie was quite enjoyable, much better than I thought it was going to be when it first came out. And there may be some that would disagree. How would you rate the movie on a scale of 1 to 10, Mary Jane?
I'd probably give it a 7.5 to an 8. I thought it was very enjoyable. I enjoyed taking my granddaughter to the movies because there's so many limited movies that you can take children to these days.
Yeah, again, it's rated PG-13, but it could have very easily been rated PG.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have taken much to get it a G rating, and it's a shame that people don't support those kind of movies the way that they should.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I would give it a little bit higher, really the same in some ways. I would give it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was that good, it was that enjoyable. There were things that I got out of the particular film. In fact, I would say by the time this review airs, it's very likely that the movie will be either in the discount houses where you can go see the movie at a cheaper price, or if it's still in the main theaters. I would recommend it if you can sit in the theater. There's some good cinematography, some good scenery. The jungle scenes are quite nice, and if you're someone like my wife, you can see The Rock in full-blown glory, if you will, overblown and oversized. But if it's not, it's certainly well worth watching on direct pay or watching on something like Amazon or Netflix when it comes out. The DVD will be something that a lot of people will like, I would imagine, as well. Yeah. So if you get a chance, go check out Jumanji, and we'll be back with you in a little bit. We're going to take a break, but we'll be back shortly as we go over a couple of programs with you, Sons of Anarchy and The Maze. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with you. We'll be back with you in just a moment.
We're running out of time. We've seen what's happening out there.
We're coming up behind! Go! Hang on!
I can handle Thomas. He'll show up eventually.
That's what I'm afraid of.
They took you because you're immune to a plague that's wiping out the human race. They think you're worth sacrificing to find a cure.
They'll never stop until we're gonna stop them.
The last city, Wicked's whole base of operations. It's the lion's den in Mono.
That's where we're going.
3 years we spent behind walls trying to break out. Now we're trying to break back in. All right, I get shotgun.
The world is dying. If we find a cure, that's the only way all this was worth it.
Do you regret it? What you did to us?
But I did what I thought was right.
There's no guarantee we make it back from this.
Well, we started this together. May as well end it that way, too.
You still care about it, don't you?
Don't lie to me!
Come on.
How many kids do they have to round up, torture, kill? When the hell does it stop?
It stops when we find a cure.
You can save your friends. Or you can save us all.
Please tell me.
Hi, this is Mike Furchess and Mary Jane Furchess back with you here at the Movie Guys. We got two movies to talk about this next segment. Actually, it's one movie and one thing that's on television. Another movie that we just recently went to see was The Maze Runner: The Death Curse, the third in the series of the movies. There was a release of The Maze Runner in 2014, then the Scorch Trials in 2015, and this year it brings us supposedly the close to the series, the show called The Death Cure. We've actually, both of us have seen all three of the mazes, so what did you think of, I think the first time we saw it was down in Florida on television at Tim and Marsh's, or maybe at the theater.
At the theater. We went to the theater.
So what's your thought on the series?
It's pretty good, I guess. I'm not a fan of futuristic type movies, basically. I go because Mike takes me to them. But we saw it in Florida when we were on vacation with Mike's uncle and aunt, and I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. In
comparison to some of the other futuristic movies that's come out?
Yeah.
I mean, how would you compare to them?
I didn't like it as good as The Hunger Games, but I thought it was really good. I mean, as far as that type of music of the movie goes.
Yeah, it's similar to The Hunger Games in theme and so forth. It's a futuristic story that tells a social concept that the politicians, the powers that be, if you will, have come into power and they take advantage of the people. And that's really a premise that goes back, as we was watching this morning, back to Rockefeller, Vanderbilt, and you know, it goes back for a long time, and it seems as if there's a reality that those in power oftentimes take control, and the people, the regular folks, are put at a disadvantage to some extent. Yeah. This movie, Dylan O'Brien stars as Thomas, Ki-Hong Lee as Minho, Kaya Scodelario as Teresa, Thomas Brody as Sangster. By the way, Thomas Brody, Sangster, he plays the part of Newt, and I thought he did a great job. There's also a couple of other folks in there. Giancarlo Esposito, that some of you may know from the television series Breaking Away, and really one of my favorite actors. You wouldn't recognize him unless you really pay attention, and I did not know he was in the movie, but he's one of my favorite actors, and that's Walton Goggins, who plays a particularly good role in there as well. There's a lot of focus on family, coming together, again recognizing one's individual strengths. The movie is 2 hours, right at 20 minutes long. It's much longer than I anticipated it being. I didn't get bored. What about you?
No, I didn't get bored at all.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, you know, I got tired of seeing just the normal folks getting beat down on and taken advantage of.
And we see that through the movie. The power,
yeah,
power corrupts, and if the future is any indication of what we see in this particular movie or movies like this, it's not good. And I think it helps illustrate the importance of people coming together, recognizing strengths, recognizing abilities, and from that point on, being a part of the solution, not a part of the problem. Any other things that you thought was really good and strong in this particular film?
Well, I thought the bond that they had, I mean, I don't remember all the characters' names, but when he goes out, wants to just go out on his own to help his friend that is still back with the bad guys, so to speak. And so he was determined he was going to do it by himself, so he wouldn't put anybody else in harm's way. But he gets ready to leave, and there are all three of his friends. And then he meets up with another one later on, and the bond that they had in trying to work together and they put others before themselves is what they did.
Good movie, well worth seeing again. By the time you see this, it may be on DVD or even the other forms of cinema, but I'd encourage you to see it. Coming up next, we're going to show you a trailer for the movie, or for the television series, Sons of Anarchy. It's on Netflix. But I wanted to talk with Mary Jane some about that, and we can go from there. But right now, the trailer from the television show.
You and Dad hooked up. Ever talk to you about his vision? About what he wanted from the club?
His vision was what it is.
brotherhood.
Sons of Anarchy is a motorcycle club.
We just want to make sure he's following in the right father's footsteps.
I didn't leave, did I?
But she did.
Just protect your friend.
You fed Crystal to kill a Doberman. Are you retarded?
No. You can't change the rules, or it all goes to hell.
But I'm having serious doubts about your level of commitment to this club.
Desperate, because you got nothing on us.
What the hell did you do?
The question is, are you with us here?
I'm gonna bury these assholes.
Mike Furchess and Mary Jane back with you. That was a trailer that we just showed you from the television series Sons of Anarchy. Now, I fell in love with Sons of Anarchy some time ago. If you can't tell by looking at me, I love motorcycles. I've ridden motorcycles. Belong to a motorcycle club called CMA, or Christian Motorcyclist Association, Christian Motorcycle Association. But I sort of watched this movie or the television series some time ago, back when it was on TV, and I loved it. I tried to get Mary Jane to watch it with me. She wouldn't watch it. She was offended. She'll tell you something about it here in a second. But all of a sudden, I've noticed she's been getting up early and she's watching Sons of Anarchy on Netflix. So what happened?
Well, like you said, I tried to watch the first episode with him and I didn't like it. I was offended by the language and the violence in it, and I thought, okay.
She's not as radical and things like that as I am.
No, and so I kept hearing people say how good it was, you got to keep watching it to get in. So I thought, okay, I'll give it a try. So I've been watching it. I'm in season 3 now, and like I said, it's amazing to me. They call it a club. It's a motorcycle club, not a gang, which basically it is a gang, but they refer to themselves as club.
And do you remember where they meet at when they have their meetings? What it's called?
No, I don't remember that.
They go to church.
Oh, they go to church.
Yeah, when all the leaderships within the club gets together, they meet at church, which is a room in the clubhouse, but they call it church because it's a time where they respect each other and look at the rules, the guidelines, and so forth.
They do follow their rules pretty close. What's interesting to me now is watching how the club affects different members and the struggles that each of them are going through individually for whatever reason with the club or with outside forces, family, and different things entering into their relationship with their brothers.
Yeah. There's quite a bit of dynamics. I think that there's a lot of major characters in the movie. Katie Seagal, the wife of Kurt Sutter, the originator of the series. You may know her best on, I'm trying to remember the name of the TV series.
Married with
Children, and she's been on other things as well. But she's the wife of the character played by Ron Perlman, and her son from a previous marriage is Charlie Hunnam. You may know him from Pacific Rim or Boondock Saints or a number of other movies that he's been in. Some real dynamics there amongst those characters, and really in showing how that some of the people within the Sons of Anarchy, the club itself, how they really do in many ways become family with each other and are there for each other. And that's one of the dynamics I liked about it, is that despite the evil, quote-unquote, nature of them, if you will, there is a sense of family that probably a lot of families, I think, could learn from.
Yeah. They stand up for each other and they protect each other.
Yeah.
And, you know, it has become family to some of them. That's all the family they have.
Yeah. So again, it's showing on Netflix. You can go back and watch all the seasons. It's one of those things that once you start watching it, you may be one of those people who end up binge watching and watching a bunch of them all together. Again, a huge cast of characters. I talked about Walton Coggins earlier in the show. Mary Jane has not seen the part that Walton Goggins plays in the last couple of seasons quite yet, but talk about a drastic change for him, you'll see it. So, 3 movies this week. Jumanji, what would you give it? 1 out of 10, what would you give it?
I'd give it probably a 7.5 or 8.
I'm about the same. I'd give it a 7 to an 8 as well. The Maze Runner, The Death Cure, what would you give that?
Probably a 6.
I'd probably go a little bit higher on a 7. Sons of Anarchy, one of the great classic television shows of all time. On that, I'd probably end up going probably about an 8. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So far, from what I've seen.
So,
8.
That's it for now. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of The Movie Guys with special guest Mary Jane. You may end up seeing her more. We'll see down the road. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. God bless and enjoy the movies.